So, what do you think? Will they still love me if they know my voice is really like this? I've had to practice a lot just to get this kind of a sound, like this kind of really generic white boy sound. It's just I don't want them to be. Oh gosh! Hey everybody, welcome. Whoa, that was embarrassing. All right. How's everybody doing? So, in 5 minutes here, we're going to start on the James Bond list, and we might even start sooner than that. But I just wanted to say that this is going to be the James Bond movie tier list. This is all of the best James Bond movies, in my opinion on them. I have watched them all. I apologize if it doesn't seem like I got all the details. I can't really remember even yesterday all that well. But I'm going to do my best. It'll be mostly remembered. And remember, in 5 minutes, we're going to start. But yeah, I've always really liked James Bond a lot. And I'll get into more of some of my feelings towards the character and the stories. But I think they are good movies. And I also wanted to say that I know that some of these videos have been I have been on vacation for a week, and then I was on vacation another place for a week. And now I should be good. But this is pretty much what it's going to be like on this channel. I'm sorry, I can't do scheduled anymore. It's just not possible. And the editing technology too, for one guy, it's just a lot. But I will always be making videos. That much I can promise you all. There will always be videos on this channel, at least once a month. But I am working right now on this sketch video. It is going to have a few characters in it. You'll see it soon, hopefully. It's almost done. It took me a very long time to make, too long. I don't know why it took such a long time to make this video, but I think it's about done now. And I wanted to say that Skibidi Toilet we're going to do later in this video, as well as the Ian Fleming books. Hopefully we'll have time to do all of this stuff. I'd say Skibidi and the Ian Fleming. I don't know about the Ian Fleming books. I'd say probably 30 minutes in. But Skibidi Toilet will be about 45 minutes in. If it's not 45, go to the 50-minute mark. And if it's not 50 minutes, go to the hour mark. But we will be watching the other two episodes because, people really like me watching it for some reason. And I'm happy to do it, whatever you all want. It's your channel, too. It's not just mine. We are getting close to the 5-minute mark here, so I'll have to come up with something to do. This has been a difficult time making these videos. I hope you all like them. And I know that I said I wasn't going to do much more live, but that ranking list I did last time really went well. And I'm really actually kind of enjoying doing this. I like the ranking list. I hope I can do some more of this video. I'd say I'm going to decide whether or not I want to continue with this series by the 4th one. So we're going to go to 4. I'm working on a Pixar one. I'm going to watch all of the Pixar films, or at least most of them. I might avoid like one of them. I'm not going to say which one yet. But I really like to do Pixar next, if it's possible. I enjoy those movies a lot too. And anything else I need to tell you all? Basically just going to have to be patient with me. I'm going to make more TikToks too. My gosh, it's been such a long time. It's crazy. Just the roller coaster I have been on. Just going around in a hamster wheel trying to get everything done. And we are going to start the rankings of the James Bond movie here in just 50 seconds. And also Skibidi Toilet's coming at 45 and 50 or 50 or an hour. I don't really know yet. It could be an hour and 10. Just if it's not at the 10-minute mark, go to the next 10-minute mark. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to do all this in an hour. Oh, and also, I might have an unexpected guest coming in. I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish this before they arrive. But if that happens, just, bear with me. I'm aware of it. I had to do this now. This is really the only time I have to make this video. So, yeah, just gives you an idea of how crazy things can be. Like I said, I'm on a hamster wheel here, folks. Just running on a hamster wheel. And we have 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds before I reveal my favorite James Bond movie. All right, we are there. So, James Bond is probably one of my favorite here. Is this it? Okay, yeah. James Bond is definitely one of my favorite film franchises, honestly. It really is. It is here. Hold on, it's being a little difficult. Can you all see that? Okay, so you can see me. I sorry, it went black there for a second. But I know it's sharing the screen. So I know it's to be the villain of the story. Like, he does every sin imaginable. He smokes, he drinks, he kills people, he gambles. It's clear intended to be the hero. He's like an anti-hero. I guess he is kind of a hero because he does end up saving the day and getting the girl and all. But this is the guy you're like really, really rooting for. He's supposed to be kind of I guess really a real hero, you know, because he's really what people have to do sometimes in order to survive. And I do agree some of the stuff he does, I don't really like all that much. Doesn't really work in today's society. But I do admit, you got to keep in mind that he's not the good guy. Don't treat him like he's the hero. He's not necessarily a hero. More complicated than that. But we'll do the movies here. So I'm movies. I'm not going to do like the Woody Allen weird one, Casino Royale. I've actually seen it, and I absolutely hate Never Say Never Again. If this trash barrel, but maybe not. Maybe I'd put it as a yeah. Because, you know, in my opinion, there isn't that many bad James Bond movies. There's only one bad James Bond movie. And I'll get into that. Most of the James Bond movies are good. But let's start with the first one that appears on the list, Skyfall, which is immediately going to go. Okay. You all can see me, right? I'm going to be coming back to you all. People have complained about that, me not like coming back to the commenters. It's kind of difficult to do, but I'm going to try to make sure that I come back to you all. Why is that in the trash thing? I did not put that. I'm not ready for you yet. You get back in there. Okay, so this is Skyfall, which is a perfect James Bond film. No, this is I'm not going to lie. This is going to probably be my favorite one. I haven't looked through them all. Skyfall is, to me, the perfect James. Watching Skyfall, I had James Bond had high standards to what would be the best James Bond film, and it blew me away. I said to myself, this one will not be beaten. It's beautiful. The cinematography in it's beautiful. The imagery, the character of James Bond. I like how he goes. He really falls in this one. He looks like he is about ready to die, and the villain is the best James Bond villain ever. It has the best gadgets too. I've talked a lot about Skyfall, to be honest, on this channel, and I've done nothing but praise it. And there's a reason for that, because it is probably going to be the best James Bond film I've ever seen. I don't think it'll be beaten. I watched the new Daniel Craig ones, and I'm like, what's the point in this? There's not going to be one that's better than Skyfall. I still don't get where it falls in the timeline, but I don't care. That's not that important. I don't know. It's probably just a different James Bond each time. Totally plausible theory. Kind of part of the fun of James Bond is the fact that this could be a different guy each time. So now we're getting into Goldeneye. Like I said, I've never really seen. It's very hard to make a bad James Bond film. It's just the character himself. He say what you will, but he's very interesting. He's a very mysterious character. Why is he so good at so many different things, so many different studies? He's not a lot. I mean, I guess he is a little bit like he is in the books, but the movies definitely make him a more ambiguous character, and I actually prefer it that way. I like the movies take on the character better than the books. I'm not putting this on very good. I think, gosh, is this perfect? I have watched this one so many times. I thought this one would be my favorite. I think it's not perfect. So how the perfect tier list works is like this is 100%. Skyfall is definitely 100%, but some of the ones behind it can be like 99, 98, or 97. And I'd say it's pretty safe to say Goldeneye is like around the 100 to 97 level. I will say that I have played the video game, but it's not the video game that's the reason I like Goldeneye. It's just, it was a really great Pierce Brosnan is the perfect James Bond. When you think about James Bond, that is who I imagine. It's true he did just do kind of Sean Connery and Roger Moore, but to be fair, I mean that's kind of how I imagine James Bond being a half Sean Connery, half Roger Moore. That's how I imagine, at least the movie version of James Bond being. Your Eyes Only. Oh gosh, I barely remember this one. No, it had the on it. Yeah, I'd say this one's very good. I don't have the greatest memory of this one. It's like the one with the they're at the ski slope, I believe. Of course, that's like 25% of all the James Bond films. Yeah, this is very good. For Your Eyes Only. Yeah, and then they're on the submarine, right? Yeah, that's the one it was. That was a very good James Bond film. It's kind of Roger Moore's last outing. I believe it. I'm pretty sure. No, wait. Was A View to a Kill his last outing? Well, anyways. Oh, is this A View to a Kill? No, this is You Only Live Twice. So this one is particularly hated in the James Bond community. You Only Live Twice. I'd give it a... Should I give it a Mia? I know it has the stuff with the Asian stare. I really liked this one. It does have that Asian stereotype going on, which admittedly was not very well done. I don't think anyone is going to buy Sean Connery being Asian. It was kind of funny, I guess. I don't know. I mean, just Mia. It was probably the first real Sean Connery one that wasn't really that great, and didn't have much more after that one. Something I will say is I like the relationship in For Your Eyes Only. I mean, what do you say about these James Bond films? They do follow a similar formula each time. He gets the girl, he loses, one girl dies, and then he gets the girl that he was kind of after to begin with. Goldeneye, the action in Goldeneye is really good. Not as good as Skyfall, though. Skyfall's perfect, 100% all the way around. And by the way, Goldeneye is probably like I'd say a 97. The moments with Pierce Brosnan, I don't know. Pierce Brosnan's acting in the first one wasn't really my favorite, just because he's still figuring out James Bond, and yeah, maybe he played a little bit too much as Sean Connery and Roger Moore. Although I do added a little something even in Goldeneye, especially with that little speech. Goldeneye's a great movie though, very good. From Russia with Love. I do not like From Russia with Love. I find it really boring. This is one of the best ones though, apparently. So I maybe like a 96 probably. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of dull. We get to meet Spectre a lot more. It's really more of a romance movie. And it's just, they're trying to burn this film. Yeah, I remember this one a little better. They're trying to burn that film. I guess I did remember it a lot more. It's a lot more distinct, which to be honest with these James Bond films, so many things in my mind are just going to be like blending together. That's just how it is. Now, Quantum of the Solace is an interesting one because when I watch it, I was like, this is the best James Bond film ever. But now, with better eyes, I'm like, yeah, that was good. I'd say it was good. I hear a lot of people say it's bad. I don't know if I'd go that far. It's not territory. Quantum of the Solstice, I feel like it was trying. It was definitely a trying movie. It was trying to be the best James Bond film ever. Whether it succeeded or not is another story. I mean, the action was really good. it is a little boring, but a lot of James Bond films, you can make that argument. I don't think it's the James Bond films are boring myself personally. I think they're pretty well paced and action films, but I guess a lot of people get confused about what's going on in the story, why he's going to do this, why is he going to do that. It's not always very well explained. They don't always clearly explain things, which can make the pacing seem slow. I think it did a good enough job. I think it was at least a good James Bond film. Of course, I have lower standards. If you want, you can just, like, with the exception of the 100%, move everything down a category. Like, you can put Goldeneye down here if you want, and maybe From Russia with Love as good, which, to be honest, is kind of how I feel about it. I'm not the hugest fan. But this is also partially about you guys. Moonraker was a fun one. James Bond in space. That was where James Bond needed to be, Roger Moore. It really did. Is it better than For Your Eyes Only, though? No. It is behind that. For Your Eyes Only had the hot girl. No. But in all seriousness, Moonraker, he goes to space is what everybody remembers. That's what I remember. It's a really weird villain scheme. It actually follows the book incredibly well. I was surprised how well, except for the space stuff. That was all. Space laser stuff, that was all made up. So yeah, a pretty significant chunk of the ending is completely made up. It has James Bond shooting lasers in space. Very silly, but some of the cinematography in these James Bond films, beautiful, just tragic. It's a very good film. Very good, I would say. Let's see, what's next? The Man with the Golden Gun. This is going to be a hard one. I hear people really hate this one, and admittedly, the thing with the man with the 3 nipples is very strange, even for Roger Moore. I actually, though, really think this one's very good. I agree that it's just good. I think it's a very good James Bond film. These films, they were back in the day. People didn't really always know what they were doing and what they were saying, that it would even offend people, We all do that. And entertainment today, I'm probably doing it. It's easy to offend people, honestly. It's just, you just never know sometimes. It's not all their fault, We're doing stuff now that one day is going to be looked back on and people are going to be like, why did these people do this? Hope that makes sense. Spectre, it was good. I feel the same way as I do Quantum of the Solace. I do think it's better than Quantum of the Solace. It's definitely not a bad movie. I think people tend to over-exaggerate how bad movies are sometimes. And, it makes mistakes, but, little mistakes aren't enough to immediately put it down in the trash barrel. They're just little things, like Quantum of the Solace being a bit too hard to follow. Spectre's definitely too hard to follow, but it makes up for it a little bit by being more fun. And it is cool just seeing the villain, Blofeld, is just so awesome. Yeah, I actually, I think very good, maybe? No, I got to put it in good. Roger Moore was just more fun to follow. I admit Daniel Craig is a little bit more of a smart James Bond. They were really trying hard. And I do really give him credit. I will say something with both Quantum of the Solace and Spectre. There were moments at the beginning where I was like, maybe this will be the one that beats the ultimate James Bond movie, Skyfall. And then I'm like, nah. What is that? I can't. For a few dollars more? I can't see it. Okay, we'll get back to that one. And this one is very small too, but I know what it is because of the skiing scene. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Acting is a little job with this. I love the fact James Bond gets married. It puts a little of a spin. George Lazenby's acting is the thing that brings it down there. No Time to Die. This is the only bad James Bond film. Just a terrible film. So I'm going to spoil. This is a spoiler. I guess if you want to know, I don't know, just skip. I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to tell you. You don't want to watch this movie. But you're, just in case, here's spoiler alert. James Bond dies in this movie, which, I'm not entirely against killing off a main character. I get that's kind of mean for me to say as a critic. But at the same time, it's James Bond. You know, and it's not just that. It's not just that they killed off James Bond. The movie's very hard to follow. The villain scheme doesn't make any sense. It's just a lot of stuff happening. And there were times when I was like, maybe this is okay. Maybe I'm all right with this. But killing off James Bond 2 is it's like an Indiana Jones with the Aliens move. It's a really bad move that really drags the score down. And if I was being completely honest, I guess No Time to Die would be Mia in the Mia territory. I say No Time to Die is one of the worst films I've ever seen, in the top 20. But I would just it's probably more plot's all right. There are moments of the plot, especially that moment where Blofeld tries to poison everyone. He ends up poisoning his own soldiers. That moment was really cool. But yeah, I'm not a fan of killing James Bond. The problem with killing him is he is an ambiguous character, at least in the movie franchise. And honestly, you can make the argument in the book franchise too. He is an ambiguous character. Killing him is just as much as saying, well, then he's not a spirit. He's just a guy. I think there's movies that do a lot better. Like John Wick does a much better job of killing off their main character. And that's another spoiler. I think John Wick did it in a way that was much more acceptable because they leave a lot of room for doubt. I'd be perfectly fine if they wanted to just end it, but he could come back. And that's the problem. They removed all the mystery, and I do believe James Bond is dead. That this is just a different guy each time. But that's just what it was supposed to be, a theory. It's supposed to make the idea that he's ambiguous, even more, it's supposed to, he's always supposed to be ambiguous. It's supposed to be ambiguous if he's a different guy each time. It's not to be something we're supposed to know. It could just be the same guy each time. That was part of the fun of it. It just created more of this spirit that we had to follow. Maybe it's the same guy each time. Maybe it's a different guy. Maybe sometimes it's the same guy and then other times it's not. Maybe it's not even about the actor. Who really knows? That's the fun of James Bond. And just giving us an answer ruins it by killing him. And I guess it doesn't necessarily completely ruin that idea. I mean, you could just say this is him dying later on. But another problem I have with it is the idea that he would just get exploded. And James Bond has lived an action-packed life. He is not going to die in an action-packed way, I don't think. In fact, I think what should kill him is something much smaller, something much more insignificant. But they just have him get killed off by the main villain. But I will say something that I did like. I have no problem with them killing Felix. I have no problem with them giving him a daughter. In fact, I just really love to see James Bond interacting with a child. Maybe that would be totally annoying, but I think it's an interesting concept. But it's not even just that they killed him off. It's just that the movie itself's pretty boring. It's not a good film. Not a good film. Trying to see what this one was. This one is... Good gosh, they really have very small font. I didn't realize that. Well, let's do The World Is Not Enough. Oh, yeah, it was good. Pretty forgettable, honestly. I really liked... What I did like about this movie was the ending and the villain. The villain was really cool. I probably did, to be honest, enjoy it more than Spectre, if I'm being... I think Spectre's probably a better movie, but this one was more fun with him. And I wish they did that more. James Bond isn't exactly, I admit, a feminist figure. I mean, I think that's part of the point. Bad guy, but still. We might not... I hate to not do the books. We're running out of time, though. But we'll see. We'll try to hurry it along a little bit. But a very good action movie. I liked The World Is Not Enough. It's a good movie. This is The Spy Who Loved Me. And I think this might be the one I'm thinking of when it was... I hope I'm not wrong. For Your Eyes Only, they're skiing. They're on the slopes. I don't think it's the submarine one, though. Maybe it is. The Spy Who Loved Me was very good. It's getting close to when James Bond, Roger Moore retired. For Your Eyes Only. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I'd say. I feel like I should put The World Is Not Enough, though, as very good. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I feel like it could go up a little higher. Maybe not to that point, but at least it is. Yeah, it's probably better than Moonraker. The Pierce Brosnan films were very good. He was very much the traditional James Bond, and it very much worked. Now, this is a License to Kill. Oh, that's what this is. The Living Daylights. I can tell now, right? So, Tim, there's an interesting James Bond. He was in 2 of the films, The Living Daylights and License to Kill. So we're doing Timothy Dalton together. He was a very interesting one. His movies, they were very good. He was definitely more actually like the character from the book. I didn't really get that, though. The book character is a little different from that, but whatever. It was a fun movie. I am going to put it... I think it's better than From Russia with Love, honestly. That was kind of a boring one. Yeah, I'll put it there. Timothy Dalton, it's not perfect for sure. It's probably more like a 97. You know what? I'm going to put it above. I'm going to put it in the very good category, actually, because I think it's more like 96. I'm just not a big fan of From Russia with Love. Not even the book version, but we'll get into that. License to Kill, unless I'm completely wrong. That's the one with the oil one, right? These movies blend together so much because they're all so much alike. There's one bad thing about James Bond. I'll admit they all sort of blend together. But yeah, Timothy Dalton was a really good James Bond. He was very interesting. He's definitely one to like. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say he's like the best James Bond, but he did a good job on his outing. Kind of like George Lazenby, Dr. No! Beautiful James Bond. Try to be boring to match the style of the early ones, but I don't really care. That's why I like Skyfall. It's like, no, you know what? Let's just make a really good movie. Let's just try to be the best movie we can be, the best James Bond film. I don't mind a little bit of, they're hard to follow plots. That's the thing. When I say boring, they can be hard to follow. Some of the scenes, they can drag with them talking. It's okay. It's part of James Bond, I get. It's just not a part that I really like that much. I can put Dr. No, though, above Goldeneye. Yeah, Dr. No, aside of the villain, well, the villain's really cool, too, even though it's not exactly politically correct at all. But the action scenes, I might end up putting it above the island setting. Octopussy! Okay, I hope I do not get demonetized for this one, but Octopussy is kind of like The Man with the Golden Gut. I really like it a lot. It gets way too much hate. I'd say it is below The Man with the Golden Gut. Diamonds Are Forever. To be honest, I don't have too much to say about Octopussy. And it's just a really good action movie, a lot of fun. These are good movies. I'm sorry. If you don't like James Bond, I get it. It's okay. You don't have to like him. I don't blame you. If you want to dislike anything, you can dislike anything you want. I go as far as to say, even if I were to be like, no, I'm turning my back on James Bond, and after No Time to Die, I'm considering it. But I will say, I do think they were really good films. They're really good films. They're really good books. Very good films. Not trying to be like, that guy. Not Ian Fleming was not really that nice of a guy. Hard-boiled guy, kind of like James Bond. Some of the Solace get too much hate. They're not that bad. I'd say it's around. Thunderball's better than that. What the heck is it doing here? Okay, so I'm going to put it, yeah, that's pretty accurate. Tomorrow Never Dies is such a weird one. I barely remember. It's about a newspaper Mongol and James Bond, and she does a really good job, honestly. I think it's kind of forgettable as far as the Pierce Brosnan. It was very fun, kind of like Goldeneye, which is his best one. I'd say it's putting in the Mia territory. I say it's like if this is an A, if this is a perfect 100, and this is, or close to that, and this is an A, this is a B. C, I think, would be pretty accurate for this one, but better than you. No, I love the volcano scene, though, and You Only Live Twice. It does propel it up a little bit. You Only Live Twice isn't completely terrible, even though I put it in the Mia space. It's still like, it's a D, probably. So the Mia section is a D. Yeah. I guess this is A to B, but mostly A, and maybe B. Yeah, I guess Mia is still kind of a C. C. I'd say these are D's though. Well, this one's a D. No, I'd say C's fine. These are C's, I guess, but low C's. Like this is probably like a 70%, and this is probably like trash, but because it killed James Bond, but because it was boring. Okay. There's some good stuff in No Time to Die. I'm not being fair to it at all, and I refuse to be fair. Sorry. If you really want to know what the accurate score would be, it's probably good. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not going to put it where you want to if you want. I did not like this one. It's a pretty bad James Bond film. I talked to my science teacher about it, like, yeah, this one's pretty bad. And they kill her off. It's a weird one. I did not like that one. Goldfinger. Goldfinger's really good. It's the class gadgets. Thank God they brought those in. That made him so much cooler. Gave him such a better fighting chance. In the books, you really miss the fact that he has gadgets. He gets very little of them in the books. Yeah, it is. 99. I'd say this one's a 99. Really close to that 100% that Skyfall hit. Which Skyfall? Oh my gosh, what a great top 20. Top 20. If this is in the top 20, where Skyfall is in the top 20 best. Well, actually, probably 25. 27. No, 25 probably. It's a really good movie. Really. Live and Let Die. I didn't like this one, actually. It is not very good. So that one must have been, yeah, okay. We're okay, I think. This one here is the Timothy Dalton one, and this one here, Live and Let Die. Just not very good movie, honestly. I love the book. The book is really incredibly good, and we'll get into that when we get to the books, but the movie did not. It followed the book well, honestly, but I think it was nowhere near as good. Live and Let Die, I'm putting it in the good category. I don't even think it's that. I'd say I don't like it as much as Tomorrow Never Dies. There's some pretty stupid moments in the James Bond films, and it's not fair to judge those movies on those stupid moments because they were very well done back in those days. There's going to be some dumb moments. Some of the movies people are giving 99% to today, I guarantee you, especially since people exaggerate these movies so much anymore. But Casino Royale, yeah. Didn't like Live and Let Die. Like the girl, though. She was a pretty good character. Roger Moore is also a great James. I do recognize my mom hates this one. This is her least favorite. I don't agree with her. I think it's a really good James Bond. They're so good, there's always all these four your favorites. I don't blame you at all. No Time to Die, I don't like, but I guess some people opinion, whatever. I don't like it. I don't think it's very good. Casino Royale is more of a movie for critics, I think, but it's also for audiences too. It's a really good film. I don't agree with the hate it gets sometimes. It was a good first film for Daniel Craig. I can't go far as to call it perfect. I think some scenes are pretty cliche, really, with the romance, and honestly, just the whole ending. It also, as far as following the book, it follows the book well, but it adds so much stuff to get that 2.5 hour. The book's not even that long. But I would say Casino Royale is not as good as Goldfinger. Is it as good as Dr. No? That's a hard one. Casino Royale, Dr. I liked Casino Royale, though, I will say. I think it's just more of a film for critics, but audiences can enjoy it too. And even the stuff I complain about is just so debatable. I get that. These things can get really hard to even decide with. Like right now, like what's better, Dr. No, Casino Royale? I had more fun with Dr. No, to be honest. I'm putting Casino Royale at 4th. It could easily be at 3rd. I'm not going to lie. Some people, it's going to be their favorite James Bond film, but I refuse to believe it. Man, James Bond's still fighting. Die Another Day, though. bad. It's definitely better than Octopussy, for goodness sakes. I'd say it's very good. I know. A lot of people don't like it. It's kind of offensive in some areas. I know it was just the times, but it's just how can you not have fun with James Bond in a car race in this giant ice palace fighting this one guy and he's surfing? It's so outrageous, but it is so much fun. So this is probably my ultimate guilty pleasure. This is the guilty pleasure for me. Number one. It's to me not even a bad film. It's just too much fun. There's a lot of like really good acting on Pierce Brosnan's part. There's some really good story moments. Seeing James Bond get caught by, I guess it was Vietnam, and having to survive that torture. It is so epic in some parts. It doesn't all add up to anything. James looked like he was affected by the torture. But I still say, it's better than The World Is Not Enough, though. I've got to put it there. I'm sorry. It's not everyone's opinion. I get why you'd hate it. It's my guilty pleasure. It's the guilty pleasure. I'm allowed one, and Die Another Day is it. I cannot possibly look at that ice palace battle and go, this is a bad. I mean, Goldfinger's second, Dr. No's third, could still be third, but I'm putting it at fourth. Thunderball's fifth, Goldeneye sixth, Honor Majesty's Secret Servant 7, Daylight's 8, License to Kill 9, From Russia with Love 10, The Spy Who Loved Me 11, For Your Eyes Only 12, Die Another Day 13, sorry, The World Is Not Enough 14, Moonraker 15, The Man with the Golden Gun 16, Octopussy 17, Spectre 18, Quantum of the Solace 19, Diamonds Are Forever 20, and You Only Live Twice 21, Tomorrow Never Dies 22, Live and Let Die 23, View to a Kill 24, and No Time to Die 25. And I think that's the best I can do. So now we get into the books. Obviously, Skyfall's not. I hate to put it in the trash barrel, but just for the moment, put it there. And I am going to show you how I feel about the books. Goldfinger's perfect. Casino Royale is really good. I think it's better than Goldfinger, just because those. We're going to go fast. Yeah, we're going to do Skibidi here. We're going to go fast through these. Bo would be third place. Yeah. Thunderball. Yeah, I really like Thunderball. I'd say it was one of his. We're in a hurry. It's actually considered to be his best book. I do not agree at all. I think it is a absolutely just terrible book. So dumb. Just he's too dumb. And it wouldn't even just be that. I mean, the only thing I liked about it was but other than that, it's a very hard one to follow. Harder to follow than any of the other books. I'm not a fan. The Spy Who Loved Me. Oh yeah, that's the weird one. I thought it was fun. The ending was it's way different from the movie. He goes to this island with these like poison plants. It was very good, I'd say. It's going in the trash. Just call it good. Okay, so that's I've read all of these books. They're really good books. Ian Fleming is a very good writer. I don't think he's like these two right here are 100% to me. This one's like a 99 for everybody. But that's my tier list, and definitely check out these two. These are very good books if you don't read any other. For my sister for her birthday, actually. And On Her Majesty's Secret Service, also just an incredible book. Nothing really wrong with it. The plot, I guess there's this one scene where they're talking about turkeys. That's the worst thing to me in the book. That's it. And I don't think that's enough to not give it 100. So they're very good books. I don't know if they're the greatest books ever, but they'd probably be up there for me. Maybe in the top 100, possibly. But that's it. Okay, now it's Skibidi Toilet time. Skibidi Toilet time, and then we quit. We have 10 minutes. Good. So we're at the 50 mark. We are going to do Skibidi Toilet. I hope I didn't lose anyone there. But I got to share the screen. We're doing Skibidi. I got to share the screen. Don't want to make that mistake again. If I did it could have just been that something went wrong. I've had actually times when the screen goes black for no apparent reason. I have also once gone on here and used the camera and it's just been black and there's no reason. It's just me talking. Luckily that didn't happen this time, but that could be what's going on too, possibly. Skibidi Toilet, the audio. Share screen. Share the, yeah. Okay, cancel. We're good. Can everybody see it? Share screen. Okay, we're good. All right, we're good. I'm scared though. I'm gonna check to make sure we're good.
Connection without
I do this a lot, but longer than thinking. I don't know why.
Oh, nothing works on this acne.
Hi. Who? I'm a licensed dermatology provider from Curology. Answer a few questions, I'll look at your skin and prescribe you a personalized cream.
Ow!
Curology, skincare with a face.
Or am I wrong? It seems like it's black here. I don't know why that would be. Seems like I'm there. Is it just my phone? Or maybe it's just because... oh, no, we're okay. Okay, all right. Sorry, I get scared. This thing can be very dangerous. Okay, if there's anything going on, I am coming back here in like 3 minutes just to check. But nobody's here, which is okay. I have gone above that. I don't care. It is not that big of a deal. I have weird times and I don't. We're going to solve this. I'm thinking things are serious now. Oh my gosh. White? I think it's white fruit. Is that white fruit? Or is that head? And they're using it for buttons. Well, he wasn't the beast. Now he's going to use his head to beat up bad guys. Wait, is this? No, where's the camera? Where's the bad Oh gosh. RPG-13, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. That's important, but the clock would they're going to come into the story. Okay. Whoever made this has problems, though. Can we all agree on that? Whoever made this has some real serious issues. I think yeah, you definitely passed the toilet stage. You now have like the obsession way too late in life. It's Richard Nixon! Yay! Richard Nixon! Oh, hold on to us. Richard Nixon. Yes. This genre that's called is brain rot. I'll be honest, I don't have any idea what's going on, but it seems very yeah, it's a big deal what's going on. It's kind of fun to watch. So I like the little monsters. There'd be good toys to get. I don't know if I'd go for the little guys. Purple tornado. Oh, it's his stomach. So this is how the Teletubbies came to be. I get it now. This was the start of the Teletubbies. Wouldn't that be the perfect twist of they were actually Teletubbies the whole time. This is how they evolved. That would be the greatest twist. For those of you who don't know who the Teletubbies are, it was a little jerk. I know, it was very good. Very nostalgic. Anybody hear you yet? Oh, it's hugging. You see? This is the Teletubbies origin story. They're all hugging each other. And shooting in the flames is a little weird. But... I did watch the Teletubbies for brief. Too weird to me, but... fun when people made fun of the Teletubbies, honestly. Alright, and then we'll quit. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to having to quit. Alright, one more. This is at the ending. We got 3 minutes.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products.
This is helicopter toilet, guys. And we're dead. Oops in the sky are in. That is my favorite joke ever, the helicopter toilet. That's one of my most infamous ones. I really want to make that. Really do. Who doesn't want to take flying around? Just have to have some way to like release the poop from the. So I'm gonna look back here. Are we good? Okay. Yes, we are. Look at this movie. Oh, this guy looks pretty advanced. I'm liking this guy. Now we got a Spider-Man toilet, right? That's a Skibidi Toilet guy, isn't it? Yeah. They are really trying to sell toilets. I would just feel weird though having a toilet-headed man on my like cabinet. Like I can see maybe the TV guy. It's kind of like makes me look kind of artsy, like making a statement against like television or something. But like a guy with a toilet for a head is just kind of makes me look weird. I don't know. I mean, hey, you do you. You got bigger. I like how serious this is. It is. I wouldn't date her. She's kind of weird looking. I don't trust her. All right. Well, hopefully Richard Nixon will be in the next one. I didn't see Richard Nixon in that one. I'm very disappointed. So now I've disappeared. Oh, there I am. Well, I had a lot of fun with you. I'm sorry I haven't been around much. Believe me, I want to be. I'm making content and all. It's just, hamster wheel. But if you didn't see I guess I should tell you, but I'm running around on a hamster wheel. That's the idea. Like constantly trying to get everything done. But I'm still making content. I'm still here. And I'm going to be making more. And I hope you like the James Bond ranking list with Skyfall as the best movie and On Her Majesty's Secret Service as the best book. And No Time to Die is the worst movie. And what was the worst book? From Russia with Love. I didn't like From Russia with Love. I don't know why the critics liked From Russia with Love. But I have to quit now. I'm afraid my guest is going to be arriving any second now. And, I just feel like that's not professional of me to have a guest knocking on the door while I'm talking to all of you. I'm not giving you all the attention. But to end off, I think the only thing is to say this has been Seth Lewis. 0000. The Ooh guy. Mr. Ooh. Call. I have a license to entertain.